Good morning. You're with us here on Business Today Market Opening. Let's take a look at what's hot in the corporate and financial space this morning. U.S. markets ignore Venezuela tensions and higher last night. Dow hits a new high on surging financial and defense stocks. Energy companies also jump after Donald Trump promises investments and subsidies in Venezuela. Asia also trading higher, all setting the pace for a good start on Dalal Street. Gold and silver rally for a second day after geopolitical risks on Venezuela tensions. Spot gold climbs nearly 3% in trade, while silver gains as much as 7%. Speculators are on overdrive as U.S. President Donald Trump says he has eyes on Greenland, Cuba, and Colombia next. RBI cracks down on related party lending by recognized banks and financial institutions, issues sweeping changes to credit risk management rules. New rules prohibit loans to own promoters, their relatives, and shareholders with 10% or more equity. Entities that control or influence bank decisions are also barred from loans. Nvidia reveals the digital superhighway into the future. Jensen Huang showcases the new AI the company has developed for autonomous vehicles. Mercedes will be the first to start shipping Tesla-like driverless vehicles later this year. Also on display is Nvidia's latest superchip, Vera Rubin, to be shipped out later this year. Tata Motors PV shares in focus as JLR Q3 volumes slide sharply after a major cyber attack disrupted production. Wholesale volumes fell over 43% year-on-year, retail down 25%, with US tariffs and Jaguar model wind down adding to pressure. All right, let's take a look at the setup as we head into a fresh day of trade. Let's pull up the overnight action for you. And clearly, despite Trump's continued controversial statements, markets at the moment are really beating their own path. Overnight on Wall Street as well, we saw gains across. Tech was steady. We'll pull up some of those movers for you as well. Lots of news coming in. We just spoke about Nvidia, for example, and Asia this morning also up over 1%, looking strong this morning. We're joined by my colleague Shailendra Bhatnagar, Chief Analyst and Editor Markets, as well as Dharmesh Kant, Head of Equity Research, Chola Securities. Gentlemen, good morning. Lots of news to track today. I want to get to the markets first. It is Tuesday. We do have one of the weekly expiries. Shell, when it comes to the index setup back home in India as well, we have been on a steady trot, looking good at the start of the year.
Absolutely, Abha. A very good morning to all our viewers, especially to Dharmesh ji and to you. Yes, that's absolutely right. We are on a trot, and gains now are spreading, Abha. Essentially, Nifty is strong, and stronger than the Nifty is now the NSE 500, which is the broader index. You have small caps, micro caps, as well as mid caps now participating in this upward thrust, which we are seeing before the budget. So pre-budget rally is in shape. I'm looking at the CPSC index constituents, PSU banks, metals, individual stocks such as Engineers India is likely to do well. Power Grid is showing strength. So the rally is broadening, and any dip is an opportunity to buy, as also any dip in gold and silver, if we get it, is also an opportunity to go long. Abha.
Great. All right, Dharmesh, good morning. Gold and silver, I mean, clearly on the back of safe haven demand have also moved up even further to new records. How is the setup looking to you, Dharmesh? And we've got the first lot of action coming in with a bunch of auto sales figures and clearly some amount of activity and focus on discretionary. But first, if we just step back for a moment, what's the index action looking like to you?
Yeah, very good morning to you all, and happy new year to you and Shailji, and to all our viewers. See, the setup is looking pretty well. I mean, the Nifty is consolidating fine, and the earnings growth trajectory, which we are expecting for this year, is around 9% kind of a growth on the Nifty 50 earnings. So that will bring it closer to 1250 kind of an EPS for Nifty 50, and then we are penciling in 14% to 1450 is what we are penciling in for FY27. Having that in the background, I mean, the likely target of Nifty for 1 year time frame is anywhere between 29,000 to 30,000 index. So index looks pretty fine. Stocks where the earnings and the reported business reports has been good, have been doing pretty well, and this would be a year when earnings would be reported and froth in the valuation will be punished at the same time. So one has to be careful about stock picking out there. As you pointed out, automobile numbers were very strong and good, but it has to be taken with a pinch of salt as far as the two-wheelers numbers are concerned. Because sequentially, if you look on month-on-month basis, September, October, November, and then December, there was deceleration in, say, Hero MotoCorp, Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors numbers. So to my mind, I mean, India is a 36 crores family. You already have sold 6 crores of cars and 30 crores worth of two-wheelers. So every family has a vehicle in place. But car has a lot of expansion to go through, organic expansion success. So I think Maruti remains a favorite topic out there on a structural basis. And on two-wheeler space, Eicher Motors has been holding on to their monthly numbers. And I think in two-wheelers, it will be upgrade. It will be premiumization of the two-wheelers, which people are owning. And there, I think Eicher Motors stands in a very firm footing. So these two companies we are liking from a long-term perspective. However, any declines out there in automobile sectors should be bought into. Financials have done phenomenally well, whether it is private sector banks, public sector banks, or NBFCs, all have reported very good set of numbers. And I think going forward also, the numbers are likely to be so. And as LG has pointed out, so earnings and budget, both will keep the, positivity going into the market. Any declines has to be bought into.
All right, great. Let's take a look at those precious metals once again, shining bright. MCX silver has now jumped 4,000 rupees to 2.5 lakhs per kilo, and MCX gold another 500 to 1.39 lakhs per 10 grams. Those are record levels that we're looking at on the precious metals. Safe haven buying kicking in on the back of geopolitics, while markets continue steady and show no real reaction to all of the Trump moves that we've seen. Precious metals are clearly seeing some amount of traction on the back of all of the nervousness spreading in the geopolitical scenario. MCX silver now up 4,000 rupees to 2.5 lakhs per kilo, and MCX gold up 500 to 1.39 lakhs for 10 grams. Those are record highs and continuing to move from strength to strength on the precious metals. Remember, gold, while it's being seen as a steady harbor, silver has been fairly volatile of late, considering the kind of up move it's seen this past 12 months. But keep an eye on both, because as Shell also just mentioned, perhaps still a good time to get in on declines given the kind of traction we're continuing to see on the heavy metals. We're just counting down to opening now, just a few more seconds to go. A quick look, Shell, at some of the stocks set to gain from the kind of move we're seeing on precious metals.
Absolutely, Abba. Hindustan Zinc on the long side as far as silver is concerned. MCX as well, because trading volumes on the exchange are a reflection on the stock price as well. And Muthoot Finance and Manappuram Finance, if you're looking at a gold proxy in India. These four stocks, all dips, are opportunities to get back into the uptrend. But a view from your independent financial advisor and technical advisor is much more important than what I am trying to say. But we've been proved right for the last 2.5 months or so. Abba.
All right, let's take a look at those opening ticks then on your screen. Opening with a slight downtick today, but we're still steady at 26,175. It's been looking good lately. We really saw that momentum build up just towards the end of the year, last few sessions in the beginning of the year. Nifty Bank is also steady today. A whole host of financials have been delivering earnings, and we can run through some of those highlights in a moment with Dharmesh. IT is steady today, up about 0.3% after seeing a bit of a lull yesterday. Today it's looking decent. We've got metals, of course, in action. So clearly that continues to be the hotspot. And we've been seeing that trend play out now, as Shell mentioned, for a couple of months, and it's continuing very clearly there. Metals, banks, and discretionary, those will be the areas of focus as we head into January. Banks also looking good this morning, both PSUs as well as the private banking space. The PSU index up about 0.5%. We've got Bajaj Auto on top of the charts, posted sales numbers. We've also got some brokerage views coming in. I'll run you through that in a moment. Axis is looking really good this morning, up about 1.5% as well. And loans are up 14%. 13% for an Access year-on-year. Deposits have grown about 12.3% year-on-year as well. SBI, HUL, NTPC, so we've got consumer staples also moving this morning, perhaps some amount of a hedge there. On the downside, HDFC Bank, Reliance cooling off today. Trent is actually down 8% today. Q3 revenue is up 17% year-on-year to 5,000 plus crores. Let me get Dharmesh's view on that. I just want to pull up Trent once again, because that's quite a steep cut that we're seeing. Is this profit booking or is this disappointment on the earnings, Dharmesh? Because 17% higher on the revenue for Q3.
I mean, it can be small, trading profit booking, because the trend has hardly moved from the lows. So the type of correction which we have seen, I mean, near-term profit years may be there. But, as I pointed out in my opening remarks, so where there is a valuation flow, it won't be, it would be punished heavily by the market, and that is what is happening. Nothing wrong with the 17% growth kind of a number with trend, but the problem is the valuation multiples which it is setting on, and the valuation multiples which markets were willing to give it at one point of time. So that all anywhere between 17-25% kind of a growth for any product company or merchandise company is the normal rate. And with that in place, if you have a 30% kind of an ROE, then maximum you can command is 35 to 40 PE multiple. So I think that adjustment is happening, and this will be the case with not only Trent, with all other new age companies as well, where the business is good, the business is doing pretty well, but just because of the valuation disconnect, you will see the stock price correction happening.
All right, so valuation disconnect playing in there on Trent, currently at 4,000 plus, and it's been correcting, in fact, over the year, down about 7% right now. News coming in on Reliance. They've rejected reports alleging that 3 vessels carrying Russian crude oil are on their way to the company's Jamnagar refinery. Reliance stated that it's not received any such cargoes in recent weeks and does not expect Russian crude oil deliveries in January. The denial comes after a Bloomberg report suggested that the refinery was set to receive shipment of Urals crude from Russia this month. Reliance Industries posted a statement on social media platforms describing the claims as blatantly untrue. Reliance today is down about 3%. All right, I also want to just pull up some of those subscription numbers, just moving from Reliance to Reliance Jio. Jio has added about 1.39 million mobile subscribers in November, while Vodafone has lost about 1 million subscribers, and Bharti has also added about 1.2 million net mobile subscribers. So that's the action on the telecom front. It really looks like it's between Bharti and Reliance, of course, as we continue to talk about there with regards to those telecom majors. Meanwhile, on the auto space as well, let's bring you up to speed with all the action there. Mahindra has unveiled the all-new XUV 7XO, that's the successor to the XUV 700, with updated styling, advanced cabin tech, enhanced safety features. The new vehicle is priced in the range of 13.6 lakh rupees to 24.9 lakh rupees. The company says it's aiming to reset the premium SUV segment. Listen in to Mr. R. Veluswamy, the president of Mahindra's auto business.
Something different happened. There's some X factor came in the UV segment. Probably that is called as XUV 700, and that's what she is thrown us at. So what happened after that? 29% in the EV2 CAGR growth, and in the SUV category, it is 23%. Isn't it amazing? And probably she has done the right thing. What happened was, there's an admiration from all the journos. There's a love from customers, and there is a celebration from the financial analysts and investors. This is the fastest SUV to clock 50,000 crores. Admired, loved, and celebrated.
All right, let's take a closer look at some of those auto majors. I just want to go through MK's view on Bajaj Auto as well. Upgrade to a buy, target of 11,100, whereas the previous target was 9,500. And I'll go through some of the reasons in a moment, but I want to bring Dharmesh in. News on a whole host of these auto counters, and of course, sales figures have been strong as well. Only Tata Motors PV, of course, as we were discussing earlier, trying to really fight back. But other than that, has been looking good. Dharmesh, what would be your preferred bets within the space?
I mean, the entire space from a structural basis, a long-term basis looks pretty attractive. But I think the two topics out there would be one from the four-wheeler space, it would be the Maruti Suzuki, because they have a strong market hold on both entry-level segment and the mid-segment, and they have been, positioning their categories very well and gaining market share incrementally quite well compared to that of Hyundai or Toyota. So that stands out clearly. And on the two-wheeler side, I think Bajaj and Hero has done quite well along with TVS Motor, and they are priced to perfection. From here, even slight miss would be lead to a sharp correction. What has been doing very fairly well has been Eicher Motors, and their dealer checks and the bookings suggest that next 2 months are also likely to be very strong for Eicher Motors. So Eicher Motors is one company which we are liking from the two-wheeler space. The third one, which you pointed out, Tata Motors passenger vehicle, this was already there in the offing that the numbers would be bad because of the ransomware attack and the plant shutdowns out there. I think this is a good opportunity to buy them because the EV suite is in the domestic market is doing fairly well, and the JLR sales will pick up in the overseas market where interest rates have already been cut. So US, China, and UK remains a prominent market out there. So I think from a contrarian point of view, Tata Motors passenger vehicle looks pretty attractive. That should be bought into. And the two other topics are Eicher and Maruti.
Okay, that's the view coming in on those auto majors. Shell, let me come back to you. I'm sure you've been tracking some other opening ticks as well.
Yes, Abha, I'm just looking at this exceeding line of broadening highs in the market. And within the NSE 500, you have Titan, again a gold play, 4085, a fresh record high. You have Muthoot Finance, as we've been pointing out earlier. From the metal space, we are represented by National Aluminium and Hindalco, again being a metal play on aluminium, both of them up more than 2%. Cholamandalam Finance, AB Capital, L&T Finance are representing the NBFC space at record highs. And of course, how can you forget Laurus Labs and Motherson Sumi? So that's what is bringing up the broader markets, as also Jindal Stainless. As far as advanced decline ratios are concerned, almost even Stevens, not really. Bulls on the back foot, 1400 shares in the red versus 1100 in the green, but metals shining, as also PSU banks. Abha.
All right, metals clearly, PSU banks as well, and some of the other stocks you mentioned, whether it be Jindal Steel, Motherson Sumi. I want to just come to you, Dharmesh, to just get some of your top picks, and from maybe some of the names that Sher also mentioned have been coming up frequently as preferred names, with the kind of potential for upside. What would be some of your key picks in the market?
The market is concerned, I think one has to be on the structural basis. We still like defense companies, HAL and BL, but I think this year they will do phenomenally well. Last year, HAL was a muted year, but this year, with execution coming to play, that should do pretty well. The 6,000 is the target price based on FY27 earnings estimate. Financials are doing well. I mean, our preferred pick in the banking space was the Bank of India, which we initiated 107, and we continue to hold them and recommend them on the long-term basis. So that space is looking pretty well. Metals, I think, will do particularly well this year as well. 25 was a great likely to be good. One is because the interest rates across the globe is coming down. And secondly, dollar index is behaving very well. So it's not appreciating. So that will again be an added factor. And given the type of push Mr. Trump is pushing on the Fed, so 50 basis point more of a rate cut is expected, which should push the metal counters up. There, I think Hindalco, as Shelly has already pointed out, will continue to do well. And at the same time, if tariff rationalizes, the novelist a part of the aluminum tariff waste because of the prices has gone up will also be taken care of. On the ferrous space, we like JSW Steel from the domestic perspective. Safeguard duty has already been placed of 12%, so that should over well. And with the budget rollout and getting to the peak season, steel consumption is likely to pick up. One space which I think should be a contra bet as of now is the cement sector. So cement volume upticks is likely to be 10-11% as far as dealer checks across the pan-India basis is concerned. It's coming up, and there has been slight price uptick as well. So both put together should give you an opportunity of at least 10 to 15% kind of a trading rally. And there, large caps are the best bet. Ambuja Cements, Ultratech remains the top pick out there.
All right, lots to choose from there, and a whole host of names that are looking attractive. Dharmesh, also, just to get a sense from you, because we've continued to see strength in the index, not in the broader markets. A lot of the picks that you mentioned also continue to be heavy hitters. Do you see continued vulnerability in the broader markets?
Yeah, definitely, yes. Wherever there has been a valuation froth, that will continue to be there. And it's more of, if you look at the type of, traction, earnings traction are happening is primarily on the large cap space. So, broader market, you have stock specific plays. I mean, a couple of names I can just take in a quick speed is like Welspun Corporation is looking good, Transit Lighting is looking good, Power Mac is there. So, individual stock picks in the capital goods space or, metal and other allied spaces are looking better. But one needs to trade carefully as far as a blanket buy is concerned.
All right, Dharmesh, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us. And I think very clear thematically, Dharmesh saying there is a valuation trap right now, and stay clear of that and pick some of those names with key fundamentals that are likely to see an up move now going forward. All right, on the back of earnings growth, of course, and we're watching out for all of those earnings now very soon in Jan, kicking off around the 12th. That's where we'll leave it for now, but do tune in at 3 p.m. for all the updates on market closing. And before we go, we leave you with the next generation Lego, which is building the future of play. The Danish company unveiled its new smart brick at CES in Las Vegas, packed with sensors, intelligence. The brick interacts with other bricks and tags to produce sound and reaction using sensors, accelerometers, light sensing, a sound sensor, and a small built-in microphone. It can tell how far it is from another smart brick and how fast it's moving through the air. The launch also brings interactive smart minifigures and a new line of Star Wars kits. The Lego Smart Brick Star Wars sets rollout in select markets from March.
Play with your creations and let them play back with you. Well, that's exactly what we've built.
Wait, really?
Introducing the Lego Smart Play System. No way! A new platform made of endlessly interactive smart bricks, smart tags, and smart minifigures. Hold on, so you can interact with the little guys now? All connected to bring play to life like never before. Play in the next dimension with the Lego Smart Play System.